Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are attempting to do a Kara review. I did get her up to T5 a few days ago. I've been messing around with her a little bit, but again, I kind of had the same problem with Celica, and the reason why I didn't do the review on her is because my magic team is very much lacking right now, and it's hard to really see her shine without the proper backup heroes like Annette or a higher raised Jane with her unique treasure, etc, etc. My Kara doesn't even have a unique weapon or a unique treasure, so I'm gonna try and work with what I have and talk to her as a singular unit because she is quite special, and I think she is worth at least attempting to review. There is one other note that you should keep in mind while watching this video is my curiosity did get the best of me, and I did watch Router's review on Kara. I don't typically like to do that because I feel it's gonna skew my sort of opinion, and I'm gonna change some things I thought, but I pretty much agreed with everything he said about her. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into her. We're gonna talk about her skills a bit, and then we're gonna talk about her transcendence perks. We're going to do a World Boss 1 run, which will probably be horrible because, again, my magic team sucks. So starting with her anti-personnel kit, her first skill here actually attacks every enemy on the screen while knocking them back. I'll show an example over my voice here. So this skill can be quite useful in either AoE situations or especially Arena for that good CC to knock them back, perhaps interrupting some skills that could have really hurt you. And next we're looking at Wide Area Cannon, which is definitely more of a CC bar reducer. So this skill alone makes her great for enemies with a CC bar, like World Boss, Challenge Raids, etc. Anything that has that little yellow bar, dragons as well. And of course her third skill changes her mode, so if you use it while she's in anti-personnel mode, she'll go to siege weapon mode, and vice versa. Now looking at her siege kit, we have the siege laser. First of all, this is really just a pure DPS skill, nothing more, nothing less. She also gets a pretty massive 200% crit damage tacked onto it, so even more damage, but that's really it. One thing to note is that this does only hit one enemy, so definitely pretty much purely for a single target situation such as guild raid, world boss, challenge raids, etc, etc. And her focused fire skill is quite interesting as well. I talked about this in my initial sort of getting Kara to T5 sort of thing. It wasn't really a review, more just kind of checking her out, and I was saying how it would be almost impossible to actually stack this further than 15 without the perk, unless you have like a high star pocket watch or a character that has cooldown reduction like Audi, and I believe that is still the case. And of course we have her passive that explains the differences between anti-personnel weapon and siege weapon mode. And you know, basically anti-personnel mode is CC and support, and siege weapon mode is glass cannon. A lot of damage, takes more damage, kind of like circuit burst. So for the highest damage possible, you want to pretty much stay in siege weapon mode, but if you're in something like World Boss and you're trying to get that CC bar down as fast as possible, staying in anti-personnel while getting the CC bar down might be an option as well, because of her wide area cannon skill. And there's also a perk that increases that effectiveness as well. So I went ahead and reset her perks so we can kind of go through them. I'm not going to go through T1 or T2, but I probably will give her one of those. We're actually going to set her up for World Boss 1, and we're going to be doing that first. So if we want to try and maximize Siege Laser, the S1 Light would be a good option, but then again the anti-personnel laser perk is kind of useless. The S1 Dark is pretty much purely for arena purposes, I would say. But the Siege Laser costing 1 less mana is also pretty good, because another thing I didn't really harp on is that while you're in Siege mode, your mana recovery is abysmal. It is incredibly slow. And here the S2 Light perk is a very, very good one as well, in my opinion, especially for the bosses that do have a CC bar, because it increases the stun duration by 1 second, and she attacks 4 times. So you're essentially getting 4 more seconds of CC every time she does the skill. In addition to that, her Focus Fire will stack 1 more time, so giving you 30 stacks instead of only 15, so you can max out your stacks without needing a pocket watch or Audi, etc. Her S2 Dark can definitely increase her damage by increasing the focus fire stack to 60, but then it definitely needs a bit of maintenance to make sure she activates that skill before the stacks go away. And you need either Audi or the high star pocket watch, maybe even both. I haven't tested with that yet. This one will actually need a bit of testing because I haven't actually tried it yet. So first we're going to take Kara to this conquest here, since there is only one enemy, check her damage, go into siege weapon, go out of siege weapon, just watch a few things, and then choose the perk, and we're gonna see where the damage is actually coming from. Well, I'll have to look at that while editing, see them side by side, because of course I can't remember all those numbers. But yeah, should come to some sort of conclusion if that's like on all of the siege weapon auto attacks or not. That's kind of what I think it might be, but we'll have to see. And of course, the skill 3 dark you'll pretty much need if you want to try and go for the S2 dark, where it increases the max stack, because then that might reduce the cooldown enough so you can keep stacking before the stacks timer runs out. And of course, this one would be very good as well when there is only one enemy, because especially while in siege weapon mode, when you want to be doing that big damage, like I said, her MP recovery is horrible. And looking at the dark, I kind of was laughing over this one in my last Kara video, but basically just exaggerates what those modes are. Siege weapon will become even more glass cannony, and anti-personnel weapon will not become more tanky, but will have its attack reduced while having more MP, so it could potentially even out as far as DPS and anti-personnel mode go, since you'll have more mana to cast skills faster. And again, dark doesn't seem that great, but of course, going with light, more stats is good. So this build is what I'm going to be using for Kara for World Boss 1. This is actually a build router recommended. So basically what you do is just go into siege mode, leave her on auto, and you know, just keep her in siege mode pretty much. She will be quite fragile, quite glass cannony with this perk here, but hopefully the T5 light, the HP, and the fact I'll be bringing Claws and Frey might be able to keep her alive. So this will be my team for World Boss here. Again, I know it's horrible, but like almost all my T5s are like physical oriented or for physical teams pretty much. I could put Mediana in there even though she is physical. Here are her stats right now. Lacking on penetration, of course, so can't expect too much in that department. But we do have the lifesteal, attack speed, crit, mostly crit. I'll have a priest with the T2 perk, so almost 100. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and replace Claws with Gao so I can get the boss down a bit quicker. All right, here we go. Not too sure how it's gonna go at all. This is my first time bringing Kara into World Boss, so try and keep that in mind. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get her into siege weapon mode and then just let her do whatever she wants to pretty much. I'm gonna just try and keep getting the boss down with the whatever skills is necessary. And yeah, so we can see what's going on. Gao should be going, spinning, there he goes. And so yeah, she's in siege weapon mode now. I'm basically just going to pretty much auto with her and pretty much just try and watch out, not do their big skills. Of course, I'm kind of rusty, so I think I did Gao spin a little bit too early there. Going to go ahead and electrocute him with Kaula. And yeah, she's still doing her thing. DPS wise, I'm impressed. You know, it's not impressive for you guys because you've seen others doing like 200 million, etc. But with my magic team here, for 45 million, I don't see that. I've never seen that on one of my magic DPS. Basically, I only have Luna, and in her peak, she was doing maybe 25 million. You know, Kara has no unique weapon. Even Luna has a unique weapon. It's still 0-star though. So yeah, she definitely seems pretty much like a World Boss 1 specialist, I would say, because all of her perks and even her skills kind of point her in the direction of single target magic damage. Of course, again, I'm sure she is usable in PvP as well, because she does have some utility in her anti-personnel mode. And that's what I would use in PvP. She also is surviving somewhat well. I mean, we still have 2 whole minutes to go here, but I would say she's doing pretty good. But yeah, I definitely gotta say, 50 million DPS in a pretty much just slapped together team, you know, with pretty much no care. I'm full autoing here, which, you know, I typically do better when I'm full autoing anyway, because I just am not that good. Okay, well, there goes Kaula. I'm wondering how Kaula died before Kara. Most of them survived until the end when he becomes enraged. So, the score isn't very good because, again, I focus on World Boss 2, and there I can do somewhat something, but here, no. But I guess that pretty much concludes the Kara review. I know there weren't too many examples, like bringing her in all the different pieces of content, but yeah, if you have any other tips or advice for Kara, you can drop that down in the comments below. Also, leaving a like if you did happen to enjoy would also be greatly appreciated. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.